Hey, Ridelli, it's Mama Doll, proud founder of the Black Doll Affair. I've got something on my heart that I wanted to speak about. We have never spent a lot of time talking about celebrities or celebrity gossip or that whole world, because this ain't that, right? I shy away from getting involved in things that ain't my business, and Hollywood ain't my business. Bruce, can we help you? What is that all about? Welcome to Dobie Life. Anyway, so we have a verdict. And Zeus, what's the problem? Huh? What's the problem? No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Anyway, we have a verdict in the Sean Combs case. The only thing I want to say to that, and only because they are a part of our legacy, in so that I started the movement because I hung on the busiest street in the world, in America, in a billboard in Times Square, and was ignored as the Black Doll. And then I moved to Atlanta, and Puff Daddy's restaurant sponsored the first ever Black Doll Affair. So on that note, I want to say something about, and I want to thank the team over at Justin's, now defunct, I think is the word I'm looking for, now defunct, but they were great to us for our first Black Doll Affair and hosting that event. And I don't want to speak to Puff Daddy the man. I don't even want to speak about the case. I want to say this. It really bothers me what happened to him. I always say, if you want to understand people, remember who they probably were as a child. Remember the child in them. I'm reading stories. Stories are starting to come out about how, as a little boy, he witnessed the murder of his dad. I won't say witnessed as in saw it, but lived through the murder of his dad through thug life. And there's a documentary out saying that his mother threw sex parties. And so people are coming out saying, you know, to go to their home meant to walk into a room and see sex, drugs, and rock and roll, right? And so, and I don't know that to be true, so I'm gonna say allegedly, right? But there is a documentary out about it. So all of that to say this, because all of that ain't why I called. That ain't why I called. I feel sorry for him as for the little boy in him. Now that we have a verdict, now that we know what had happened was, and this doesn't discount Cassie and all the other plaintiffs that are coming out and suing him, because obviously my heart goes out to Cassie. That's a whole other thing. And so let me just say that, since the Black Doll Affair is about empowering Black women and girls. Mamas, you have got to stand watch before the man knocks on the door. What does that mean? I saw a video of Puff Daddy, very viral video, you can find it, of him hanging up the phone, scoring a deal and going, you know, animalistic, saying, yes, I can have whatever I want. I can have whatever I want. And I thought, right there, somebody, somewhere should have stopped him and said, and what does that mean to you? What does it mean to have whatever you want? We've got to ask our children why. When they say they want those sneakers, why? What does that mean to you? Don't just buy. Ask why. You know, we are buying our children these things, makeup kits and product and shoes. And, you know, Puff Daddy went to a private Catholic school. He was an altar boy. You know, his mother set up all the things to make him, as they said in the documentary, look like the local rich boy. And yet he was having to see his mother having sex with other people and seeing sex, drugs, and rock and roll or hip hop go on around him. And that damages who he could have been. And so that is why I've called. Ask why before you buy, number one, because that really gets into when a girl says, Mama, I want the Jordache jeans, as I used to say. I would see the commercials and I would buy into the whiteness of having this skinny Barbie-like body and going, yes, God gave me the Barbie body, so I get to pretend to be white, right? That's a dysfunction that should have been stopped in its place, could have been stopped in its place, if my mama had just asked, why do you want the Jordache jeans, right? Because I wanted to fit in. I wanted my Barbie skinny little figure to fit in. And my mama should have said, in that space and place, you are a black girl. These jeans are not going to make you anything other than that. And if I buy you these jeans, you are going to wear them because you like the jeans and not because you're trying to be white, right? You've got to stop them in their tracks so they understand why they do what they do. That is important. I wonder how many adults pass a young Sean in his mother's home and stopped his mom and said, girl, what are you doing to this baby boy? He already lost his dad, tragically. What are you doing? Cause what are you doing, right? And I'm not coming down on his mama. I don't know her from Adam. This isn't a condemnation. I am literally thinking, now that we have, the results are in, and a conviction has been made, everybody at this point should just really be looking at what role they played. That's all. From the secretary who sent the email that was appropriate, to the Uber driver, to the sex workers, to the handlers, all the people that was like, you know, he's rich, he's famous, this is his world. We're just squirrels trying to live in it. At the end of the day, I am mortified for him as a man for the life that he has chosen for himself. My second thought is get therapy. We cannot control the placement that we're given in this world, right? Like, you know, there are some people born with silver spoons in their mouths, but none of us are born with gold teeth in our mouths, right? So at the end of the day, he wasn't born a thug life. He wasn't born into thug life. That was a life that was put upon him. And his why, his download to the why was that this would make me rich and powerful. And so if we don't teach them to respect women, if we don't teach them to ask why, if we don't talk them out of their negative thinking, then they've got to go on and live that truth. And that becomes their truth, good, bad, or ugly. So I weep for Sean John, who was my neighbor in Times Square, me and my billboard and him and his Black Power Sean John billboard. I weep for my neighbor that could have been more, that now sits in prison. I don't hate him. I think it's a teachable moment. I hate that he became the icon for the teachable moment, but we are spiritual beings having human experiences. And so I know that this is happening for him, not to him. And so all of that to say, mamas, daddies, ask why. Why do you want it? Why is it important? Manage your kids' headspace always. And just know that whatever they get from home is what they're going to take into the world until they shed that from the lessons they have to learn. So I think this is a lesson that P. Diddy, Sean Combs, unfortunately had to learn the hard way. He didn't stand a chance. His dad was gunned down through gun violence, and then his mother taught him to have sex parties in the house, allegedly. Anyway, I'm Mama Doll, proud founder of the Black Doll Affair. Talk to your babies, because if you don't, they will. To Cassie, I want to say this. Because I do think I would be remiss not to mention Cassie. I am sorry that that happened to you. Go out and do something good with that. Empower girls with that. Parents, I can't say it enough. If you aren't talking to your babies, somebody else will. Unfortunately, Cassie, and I'm not blaming, I'm not judging. I have been in her shoes. I've been young, so I know. I've made my mistakes. But, so this ain't that. What I'm saying is, talk to the babies. So that, as my kid sister would say, when you get to that party that you're invited to, and everybody gets invited to that party, you look around and go, Mama said there'd be days like this, and where are my car keys? To quote my kid sister, where are my car keys, right? That they know that it's time to go. That's all. And they only know that because they have spoken to home. Make sure your babies don't wander too far from home. That is what happened to P. Diddy Combs. I'm Mama Doll, proud founder of the Black Doll Affair. Take care out there. Love you.